Yes.
Yeah,
There are two
so
people who have the mic. Just to avoid Sanjay, let him ask the question, and then we'll come to you.
yeah,
Thank you.
so the news of Fab coming to India has got all of us excited, but the real success of this foundry or Fab in India would be when it actually kicks up a lot of local designs, right? I mean, the designers in India designing chips which are designed in India, and then that gets into Fab in one way or other, right? Uh, to that to happen, today for a design startup, there are two foremost challenges. One is getting the EDA tools, right? I mean, EDA tools, which otherwise in other part of the world, in Europe, in US, in China, is very easy to get, right? You have this technology parks where you go and you have the tools available to you at highly subsidized rate or almost free. That's number one problem which we have to address. And the other important thing which is PDKs. Getting a PDK in India is extremely difficult. It's a chicken and egg story. The foundry says if you get letter of intent from a customer, then we'll give you the PDKs. And the customer would never look at you till you have something to show on table, right? So my question to Jaswinder and Dr. Meduri, first part is, of course, the overall EDA ecosystem to startups, to entrepreneurs. And second part is access to PDKs. So, some gentleman is asking that they want to plan their design schedules based on the foundry schedule. My question is, where are the PDKs? I can start it today.
So this was supposed to be a Fab discussion, right? How the hell did it end up becoming an EDA tools discussion? Anyway, I'm not surprised. That question comes up all the time. I think you've heard, over yesterday and today, Dr. Omkar Rai, several other people have talked about the fact that if you look at the broader framework of the different efforts that are going on to help build the ESDM infrastructure ecosystem, the innovation ecosystem, etc., one of the pieces of that puzzle is establishing incubation centers. And you heard the announcement yesterday that there was very active work going on to establish those incubation centers. And it's the incubation centers that's going to plug that gap that you're talking about, right? And so it's in the works. I'm not in a position to share when it'll happen. I think it's the government machinery at work. The process is in flight as we speak. We can hope for the best and expect that something will materialize this year. Again, that work's been going on for a while. But the answer to your question lies in getting those incubation centers off the ground.
Jaswinder, that is a diplomatic answer. I mean,
what answer were you expecting?
No, I mean, it's the thing is that in India, the only place at least which I know is CDAC in Noida, where you pay I think 25,000 rupees a month to get a workstation where you get access to all the idiot tools, right? I mean, sorry, I mean, as you said, it's a Fab discussion, but it is all related, right? I would say that Fab as a centerpiece is a flawed notion. There's no centerpiece. We have to connect all the dots together and everything. So I would say then we are not ready in terms of, kicking off a lot of local designs if the EDA story is not in place. So probably, I mean, if it's not Jaswinder, probably Iesa as a body has a lot of work to do to accelerate it, because then tomorrow Fab would be there. I'm sure Fab would be there in 30 months, but local designs would still struggle. So that is something which a point to ponder and take it forward from.
No, that's a very valid point. And again, as I mentioned, I think in the broader ESDM story, each one of those pieces in encouraging and supporting entrepreneurship, in supporting innovation, I think all of them are being addressed. There are different pieces to the puzzle, and as I said, getting the incubation centers off the ground, getting the EDF off the ground, I think they're all pieces of the puzzle, and they all need to come together. If they don't, we don't have a complete story. You're right. That's why I applaud the people who were behind it, but the NPE vision and the different elements are very, very broad and very comprehensive. And I think our challenge is just to get things off the ground. But things are in motion. Things are in motion. Good question.
Hi.
PDKs, Dr. Meduri, PDKs.
So, as far as PDKs are concerned, obviously there's an angle that's tied to the fab that Dr. Maduri and the consortia will be setting up. But otherwise, broadly speaking, when we look at the incubation centers, the broad vision of the incubation centers is to provide a comprehensive environment that includes not just compute infrastructure, EDA tools, IP, PDKs, connection to fab, everything. Right? So that's the broad vision for the incubation centers is very comprehensive. It's literally plug and play. As an entrepreneur, you can come in and get started, and you have everything that you need under the roof. That's really the vision. Now, how soon we'll get there, that's something that we have to wait and watch.
Hi, this is Sanjay Gupta from Freescale Semiconductors. So my question is linked to yesterday panel discussion that happened on hardware manufacturing. So one of the challenges that was discussed that India as a country can design smartphones and tablets. We can manufacture, but the challenge is turnaround time is much larger. For example, we more willing to import from China, and the cycle times are 4 times, 5 times in India. Technically, we are capable. So analogical to that in fabs, let's say we have a self-sufficient technological advancement at par with any other fabs. Do you think that because of the ecosystem, infrastructure, supply chain issues in the country, this can pose a similar risk where people still want to get it done from outside?
You want to take a stab at the question?
Well, I would agree that that is an issue we all face. And I think competitively, that's one of the key things that we all will have, and especially I think all the key players around the fab supply chain has to work very cohesively together, because it is going to be an issue, no questions asked. But on the other hand, I don't see a way, if we don't address them, it's necessity is the mother of invention. I think we will have to overcome it, but you're right, it is going to be an issue. And initially, I think we will have to take even more cushioning, as you call it, to buffer for these kind of eventualities. We cannot be naive about the fact that on day one, we're going to have a cycle time that is world-class. So I think that's a fair question.
Okay, so more work to be done there, right? There are clearly many, many challenges that need to be overcome, more work that needs to be done there, but I think the folks that are driving these efforts have a very good understanding and appreciation of the challenges that lie ahead and are pretty committed to working through them. Yes, please.
Hi, this is really exciting to actually be, my name is Mark Harvard with Karmic, by the way. And is the plan to have technology partners provide the technology that will be cloned by the fab? And if so, would we get earlier access to PDKs because we know what we want the process to look like because it already exists at the technology partners? Because you've got an army of entrepreneur designers out here that would love to get started. So is the plan to replicate the process technologies that already exist, in which case PDKs could be made available much earlier?
Sure. So is the plan to replicate the process that already exists with the partners? Sure. In which case the PDKs already exist. So I think that's the answer. Yes. That is the plan.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Good.
One of the things that's extremely exciting to hear that in a span of an hour, when we're talking about whether this fab is going to be viable, they've already got 9 customers. I mean, wow.
Actually, I think before we started this session, we were talking about what would be IESA's statement for the next couple of years. It's not going to be leading India to ESDM superiority. It's going to be sustaining the ESDM.
Sustaining the ecosystem that's being created even as we speak. Awesome. I love that. Okay.